I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? He said, so I checked. And it's the same box, made in the same plant, by the same company. It's the identical pill that I buy in New York. And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now
the creation of these drugs, I mean, these companies have to go through a very arduous process to get approval by the government. They spend billions of dollars, and put aside whether or not, quote, people demonize Big Pharma. That's separate and apart. However, we usually end up creating them, and then we end up paying 10 times more, which is crazy.
Well, they used to use that, if I could interrupt, they used to use that as a reason why we were paying 5 and 10 times more than other countries. They say because of research and development. And I'd always say, well, what about you doing research and development for the rest of the world too? Why are we paying for 100%? So we paid 100% for research and development, which along with other things, believe it or not, raised the price to a point where you were 5 to 10 times higher than the rest of the world. I instituted a most favored nations provision or concept where we're going to pay whatever the lowest country pays in the world. So
lawmakers from both sides of the aisle want to codify President Trump's order to lower drug prices into law. Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley wrote, "Great move by President Trump. Now Congress needs to make it permanent by passing my bill to stop Big Pharma price gouging." Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders wrote, "I agree with President Trump. It is an outrage that the American people pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. If Trump is serious about making real change, he will support legislation I will soon be introducing to make sure we pay no more for prescription drugs than people in other major countries."